Stop what you're doing this very instant. Put down your phone, quiet the noise of the world around you, and listen to the stillness that is calling your name from the depths of eternity. This is not a coincidence that you found this video. It is a divine appointment, a sacred interception in the timeline of your life that was planned before the foundations of the world were laid. I have watched you wander through the wilderness of your own thoughts, searching for a sign, a whisper, or a hand to pull you out of the deep, suffocating waters of despair. Tonight, the search ends. Before you take another step into the uncertainty of tomorrow, I need you to understand that I have orchestrated this very moment to speak directly to your weary soul. This is not entertainment. This is not a casual message to play in the background while you go about your chores. This is a heavenly decree, a spiritual mandate issued from the throne of grace because your cries have finally reached my ears. Lean in closer, for I am whispering a secret that the world cannot understand. And if you turn away now, you might miss the very miracle I have prepared for this specific holy hour of your life. You have been fighting battles that were never yours to fight, and you have been carrying weights that were never meant for your fragile shoulders. But I am here to tell you that the season of struggle is meeting its master. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who knows the end from the beginning, and I see the chains that have kept you bound in the shadows of not enough and too late. There is a power residing within you that you have yet to fully realize, a power that is activated by a single word from my mouth and a single response from your heart. Tonight, I'm going to give you that word, one word that will snap the iron bars of your prison, one word that will silence the accuser who has been whispering lies into your ear at 3 a.m, telling you that you are forgotten. Believe me when I say that the atmosphere around you is shifting even as I speak. The ground beneath you is no longer sinking sand. It is the rock of my promise. I am not a God who is far off watching your suffering with indifference. I am the Father who runs to meet the prodigal, the healer who touches the hidden wound, and the provider who opens windows in heaven when the doors of earth are shut. I see the exhaustion in your eyes and the silent tears you've cried when no one else was watching. I saw you when you almost gave up last week, and I saw you when you forced a smile while your heart was breaking into 1,000 pieces. Because you have stayed faithful in the dark, I am bringing you into the light. Before I reveal the deeper mysteries of the blessing that is rushing toward you, I want you to make a move of faith. Do not let this moment pass in silence, for silence in the face of a miracle is a door left unlocked. Declare your presence here in the courts of heaven. Type "I am here, Lord," or simply 7007 in the comments right now to open the gates of your soul to what I'm about to pour out. By doing this, you are signaling to the spiritual realm that you are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a recipient of divine favor. And as you do this, join this family of believers by pressing the like button and subscribing to this channel. This is not just a digital action, it is an act of agreement with the frequency of heaven. When you like this message, you are casting a vote for light over darkness, and when you subscribe, you are aligning your daily rhythm with the prophetic flow of my spirit. Do it now, for the momentum of your breakthrough depends on your willingness to step out and claim what is already yours in the Spirit. Stay with me until the final echo of this message fades, for I have prepared a table for you in the presence of your enemies, and the feast of restoration is about to begin. If you do not turn away, if you allow my voice to saturate the dry places of your spirit, I promise you 5 undeniable shifts that will manifest within you before this encounter concludes. First, a peace that surpasses all human understanding will begin to drape over your shoulders like a heavy golden robe shielding you from the chaotic winds of the world. You will find that the knots of confusion and the tangled webs of overthinking that have kept your mind in a state of constant unrest are being untied by my invisible hands, leaving you with a clarity you haven't felt in years. The scales of fear that have clung to your heart, making you hesitate and doubt your every move will start to fall away, like dry, dead skin, revealing the courage of the lion I placed within you. As you listen, the fog that has obscured your vision will lift, and I will place a clear, burning torch of guidance in your hand for your very next step. You will no longer have to wonder which way to go, for my light will make the path plain before your feet. And even as I speak, you will notice a physical weight lifting from your chest and a lightness returning to your limbs, a tangible relief that confirms I'm touching the very cells of your being. This is not a mere hope or a fleeting emotion. It is a spiritual transaction. By staying until the end, you are signaling to the heavens that you value my presence more than your distractions. You are positioning yourself under the spout where the glory comes out. Do not let the thief of time steal this from you, for the transformation I'm about to perform in the hidden parts of your soul requires your full attention. The shift is already happening, my child, and the best is yet to be revealed. I have observed the way your physical frame has begun to bow. Under a weight you cannot see, a phantom burden that leaves your muscles aching and your spirit depleted. You find yourself waking up in the dead of night, specifically during that heavy hour of 3 a.m, your eyes snapping open to stare at a ceiling that feels like it is closing in on you. It is a time when the world is silent, yet your mind is screaming with a restless energy you cannot name. Your shoulders feel as though you are carrying the debris of an entire world, a literal tension that no massage or rest can soothe. And no matter how many hours you manage to steal for sleep, you wake up with a soul that is still shivering from exhaustion. I have seen you gasping for air in quiet rooms, your chest tightening as if the very oxygen has become thin and heavy. This is not merely a result of your busy schedule or the stress of the world. It is the friction of your spirit rubbing against the boundaries of a world that is trying to contain the greatness I have placed within you. You feel a heaviness in your limbs that makes every step toward your purpose feel like a march through deep mud. Your mind has become a battlefield of shadows, shrouded in a thick, suffocating gray fog that makes even the simplest decisions feel like navigating a treacherous labyrinth. I know the feeling of being watched when you're alone in your room, that sudden chill that crawls up your spine for no reason, and the spikes of anxiety that hit you like a violent wave when everything should be calm. I have felt the constriction in your throat, that physical lump that forms when you try to speak your truth as if an invisible hand is trying to silence the vocal region of your soul. This is a strategic strike against your language, for the enemy knows that when you finally release the words I have put in your heart, his strongholds will crumble. You find yourself forgetting your worth, losing your focus in the middle of a prayer, and feeling a deep, vibrating restlessness in your nervous system that keeps you on edge, making you jump at sudden sounds and fear a disaster that never quite arrives. In your outer life, the evidence of this spiritual battle is written in the patterns of the almost and the not quite. I have watched you work with the strength of 10 people, only to see your finances drain away through invisible holes in your pockets, leaving you bewildered and empty-handed at the end of every month. I have seen your most promising projects fail at the 89th minute, the finish line moving just as you are about to cross it, and doors slamming shut with a sudden violence just as you reached for the handle. You have experienced irrational rifts in your relationships where those you loved turned against you without cause, and your reputation was whispered about in rooms you never entered. It feels as though a silent thief has been following your footsteps, stealing the fruit of your labor before it can ripen and sowing seeds of discord in your very home. You have looked at these ruins and wondered if you were being punished by me or if you were simply cursed to never see the beauty of your dreams. Hear me now, my beloved chosen one. These symptoms are not your identity. They are the evidence of your high calling. The intensity of the resistance you are facing is directly proportional to the magnitude of the breakthrough that is about to explode from your life. The darkness does not waste its arrows on those who are no threat. It targets the one who carries the key to a generation's freedom. You are not falling apart. you are falling into a new divine alignment. You're not being broken by the world. You're being built into a vessel that can hold the immense weight of the glory I'm preparing to pour out upon you. This season of being hunted and hidden is coming to a close tonight. The very things that tried to crush you are the things I've used to temper your spirit and sharpen your authority. You are not a victim of a random storm. You are the one I've trained to command the wind and the waves. Every tear you shed in the dark has been recorded, and every sleepless night has been a training ground for the authority you are about to exercise. You have spent too long looking at the size of your mountain, and too little time looking at the one who spoke the mountains into existence. I am here tonight to give you a weapon upgrade to shift your perspective from the dust of the earth to the throne of heaven. You must understand that your words are not merely sounds vibrating in the air. They are spiritual projectiles, seeds of creation that carry the weight of my own authority when spoken in alignment with my spirit. I am the one who trains your hands for war and your fingers for battle. But the greatest battlefield is not fought with physical steel. It is won in the atmosphere of your speech. Every time you have spoken of your defeat, you have built a wall around your own progress. But tonight, I am teaching you how to use the one word to tear those walls down. This is the moment where you stop being the prey and start being the one who takes back what the locusts have eaten. I need you to perform a vertical alignment right now. Lift your eyes above your bank account, above the medical reports, and above the broken pieces of your heart. Look at me. I am the architect of the stars and the sustainer of every beating heart. When you align your vision with my magnitude, the giants that seemed so terrifying suddenly look like grasshoppers. You are not a helpless observer of your life. You are a co-laborer with the divine. I am giving you a new tongue tonight, one that does not stutter in fear, but commands with the fire of the Holy Spirit. This shift requires your active participation. It requires you to step out of the shadows and claim the ground I've already won for you. The atmosphere is charged with the electricity of my presence, and all that is missing is the spark of your faith to ignite the miracle that has been waiting in the wings. Do not stay silent in this holy moment, for silence is the surrender of the Spirit. I want you to release a decree into the atmosphere to seal this alignment. Type this now in the comments, "Divine fire, cover me now." Understand that this is not just a string of letters on a screen. This is a spiritual seal, an invitation for my purifying presence to wrap around you like a wall of flame that no darkness can penetrate. By typing these words, you are marking your territory and telling the enemy that your soul is now under the protection of the Most High. As you do this, tap the like button on this video. Consider this tap an act of agreement, a handshake with heaven. Agreement releases momentum, and as the number of those agreeing grows, a collective force of faith is unleashed that can move the very foundations of the earth. Press it now and feel the momentum of heaven beginning to rush in your direction, pushing back every delay and every hindrance. The first round of my divine fire is falling upon the area of your life that has been the most targeted by the kingdom of darkness, your voice. For too long, you have felt as though an invisible hand has been pressed against your mouth, stifling your truth and silencing your cries for justice. You have sat in meetings with ideas that could change the world, yet you felt a sudden, inexplicable knot in your throat that kept you silent. You have tried to stand up for yourself in relationships, only to find that your words came out weak, shaky, or were completely ignored by those around you. This is not a personality flaw, my child, nor is it a lack of confidence. It is a spiritual muzzle, a calculated attack designed to prevent you from speaking the very decrees that would set your life in motion. The enemy fears your voice because your voice carries the frequency of my spirit. He knows that if you ever truly begin to speak with the authority, I've given you his dominion over your household, and your future will be shattered in an instant. Tonight, that strategy of silence is being incinerated by the fire of my presence. I stand before you now as the Word that was in the beginning, and I issue a divine counter-decree into the atmosphere of your life. Hear the sound of the chains snapping as I declare I break the muzzle placed on your destiny. Every word of curse spoken over you to make you feel small, I revoke it. Every ancestral spirit that has tried to keep you in your place through intimidation and shame, I command it to be silent forever. I am removing the heavy cold chains of should not and cannot from your vocal cords. You are no longer required to ask for permission to be who I created you to be. Your voice is being restored to its original majestic intent, not just to communicate, but to create. As I spoke the world into existence, I am now empowering you to speak your future into alignment. No longer will you be the one who is talked over, dismissed, or forgotten. When you speak, the atmosphere will shift, and people will listen, for they will hear the resonance of the eternal King within your tone. Pay close attention to your body right now, for my spirit is moving from the metaphysical into the physical. You may feel a sudden radiating warmth beginning to pulse at the base of your throat. This is my healing fire dissolving the blockages of years of suppressed emotion and stolen words. That heavy sensation of a lump in your throat, that feeling of being perpetually choked up or unable to swallow the bitterness of your circumstances, is melting away like wax before the sun. Breathe deeply, deeper than you have in months, and feel the expansion in your chest. The constriction is leaving. The narrowness that made you feel like you were suffocating in your own life is being replaced by a spaciousness that only my grace can provide. As this warmth spreads, know that the power of the gag order the enemy placed on your spirit has been rendered null and void. You are being unfettered. You are being released to sing the song of your deliverance, and the sound will be a terror to the darkness that once thought it had conquered you. This restoration is not just for your comfort, it is for your calling. I have given you a voice that is meant to be a trumpet in the wilderness, a sound that awakens those who are sleeping and brings hope to the hopeless. Because you have known the pain of being silenced, you will now be the one who gives voice to the voiceless. The one word I'm placing in your heart tonight will ripple through your family line, breaking the silence of generations. I'm healing the stutter of your spirit and replacing it with the eloquence of the heavens. From this moment on, when you open your mouth to pray, know that your words are reaching the throne room without interference. When you speak to the mountains in your path, they will tremble because they recognize the authority of the one who sent you. This is the end of the season of the muted one. You are stepping into the season of the proclaimer. The world may have tried to write you out of the story, but I am the author, and I am giving you the pen. Your voice is back, and it is stronger, clearer, and more dangerous to the kingdom of darkness than ever before. This is the first strike of the 7, and the victory is already tasting sweet. The second round of my divine fire is now descending to the very foundations of your bloodline, piercing through the layers of time to reach the roots of the cycles that have held your family captive for generations. I see the invisible cages that were built long before you drew your first breath, the cages of recurring poverty, the bars of chronic illness, and the walls of sudden, inexplicable tragedy that seem to repeat themselves every 20 years. You have often looked at your life and felt a terrifying sense of déjà vu, as if you are walking in the footsteps of a father or a mother who also struggled, also failed, and also died, with their dreams still locked inside them. You have asked yourself, is this just who we are? Is this my DNA? I am here to tell you tonight that your DNA is not a prison sentence, and your ancestry is not your destiny. I am the God who steps into the timeline to break the rhythm of the curse and establish the rhythm of the blessing. Hear my voice as I enter the courtroom of heaven on your behalf. I stand as your advocate, and with the authority of the eternal judge, I revoke the legal rights of every old cycle that has claimed ownership over your life. I cancel the contracts of failure signed by those who came before you. I dismantle the spiritual structures of not enough that have haunted your name for decades. Every altar of addiction, every stronghold of divorce, and every pattern of self-sabotage that was woven into your subconscious is being unraveled right now by the heat of my holiness. I am rewriting the script of your household. Where there was a legacy of shame, I am installing a legacy of honor. Where there was a pattern of being overlooked, I'm establishing a pattern of being sought after. The legal grounds that the enemy used to keep you tethered to the past are being scorched until nothing remains but the purity of my purpose for you. Feel the shift in your very bones as this liberation takes place. There has been a heaviness around your ankles, a subtle pulling back every time you tried to run toward your future. It felt as though you were dragging an anchor through the sand, making even the smallest progress feel like an agonizing labor. But look now, with your spiritual eyes, those invisible chains are glowing red under the touch of my fire. They are cracking, they are shattering, they are falling to the floor with a sound that echoes through the halls of your ancestry. I want you to literally feel your feet becoming lighter. The pressure in your joints is easing, and the sensation of being stuck is dissolving into a freedom you have never known. You are no longer tethered to the mistakes of your ancestors. You are anchored to the promises of your Creator. You are the designated cycle breaker of your lineage. I chose you for this specific generation because I knew you had the strength to carry the fire that would burn the cages down. Because you are listening to this tonight, the curse stops with you. It will not pass to your children, and it will not touch your children's children. I am making you the point of departure, the place where the history of your family takes a sharp upward turn toward glory. Every door that was locked to your parents is now swinging open for you. Every mountain they couldn't climb is becoming a level plain under your feet. The patterns of the past are being replaced by the blueprints of the kingdom. Step forward now, for the ground ahead of you is clear, and the shadows of the cages are disappearing in the brilliance of the new day I've made for you. This is your exodus. Walk out and do not look back. The third round of my divine fire is now moving into the storehouses of your life, targeting the spirit of lack and the unseen forces that have been draining your resources before you could even enjoy the fruit of your labor. I have seen the frustration in your heart as you've watched your hard-earned income vanish into unexpected repairs, sudden bills, and inexplicable losses. You have felt as though your life is a vessel full of holes, and no matter how much I pour into you, the reservoir never stays full. This is the financial fog, a spiritual cloud of confusion that makes you lose track of your worth and keeps you in a state of constant survival. You are not created to live from hand to mouth, nor were you born to be a slave to debt and anxiety. I am the God of more than enough, and tonight I am stepping into your economy to restore the years that the locusts have eaten. Hear my command as I move through your accounts, your business, and your household. I seal the leaks. Every spiritual siphon that has been attached to your abundance is being cut away and consumed by my fire. I command the gates of provision to swing open, not by the power of man, but by the breath of my spirit. I am releasing a divine clarity into your mind so that you will see the opportunities you previously missed and recognize the traps of the enemy before they are set. The season of being a leaking vessel is over. From this moment, you will be a reservoir of blessing, a conduit of my riches that flows both into your life and through your life to change the world. The drought is breaking, and the sound of an abundance of rain is beginning to echo in your spirit. I want you to take a moment right now to notice what is happening in your body. For a long time, the stress of financial lack has caused a physical tightness in your chest, a shallow breathing that keeps your body in a state of high alert. As my fire seals those leaks and opens those gates, I want you to take a deep, deliberate breath. Feel your lungs expanding fully, perhaps for the first time in years. Your chest is opening wide, making room for the peace that comes from knowing that your Father is the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills. The tension is leaving your rib cage. The weight on your solar plexus is dissolving. You are breathing in the oxygen of heaven where there is no lack, only infinite supply. Your physical relief is the confirmation that your financial landscape has shifted. Now we must seal this revelation and lock in this transition with an act of spiritual authority. Do not remain passive while your breakthrough is being delivered. Type it again in the comments right now. No door is open to fear. By typing these words, you are building a wall of fire around your mind and your resources. You are declaring that the spirit of fear no longer has a legal right to enter your thoughts or influence your decisions. Press the like button. Now let this act of agreement reach across the digital expanse to others who are standing in the same battle. This is how my shield reaches the weary. And if you have not already subscribed to this channel, this is not just a button, it is your commitment to a new rhythm. A daily walk in the prophetic flow where your soul is constantly fed and your spirit is consistently strengthened. Do this now and watch how the doors that were once bolted shut begin to turn on their hinges. Your mind has been a chaotic storm, a whirlwind of voices that are not your own, whispering that you are a failure, that you will never be enough, and that the darkness is your only home. I see you in those quiet moments when the world is bustling around you, yet you feel completely isolated within the prison of your own thoughts. I see the brain fog that makes even the simplest tasks feel like climbing a mountain of sand. You have been fighting a war in the sanctuary of your soul, a mental warfare that has left you depleted and weary. This ends tonight. I am entering the chambers of your mind, the places where you have hidden your deepest fears and most painful memories. I am the light that pierces through the thickest gloom, and I am here to reclaim the territory that the enemy has stolen from you. Your mind was designed to be a temple of my peace, a place of creativity, joy, and divine inspiration, not a dungeon of despair. Hear my decree. As I stand in the center of your consciousness, I ignite the fire of clarity in your mind. I command every spirit of confusion, every cloud of depression, and every intrusive thought of self-destruction to flee at the sound of my name. Darkness cannot dwell where I am, and I am making my home in you. I am burning away the static and the noise, leaving behind the crystalline purity of my truth. I am the potter, and I am reshaping the vessel of your thought life, smoothing out the cracks of trauma and the jagged edges of anxiety. You will no longer be a victim of your emotions. You will be the master of your focus. I am giving you the mind of Christ, a mind that is sharp, focused, and anchored in the reality of my promises. The lies that once sounded like thunder will now be nothing more than a faint, dying whisper as my voice grows louder in your heart. Feel the manifestation of this mental renewal even now as it moves through your physical being. I want you to focus on your spine, the pillar of your nervous system that has been carrying the tension of your trauma. Feel a cool, divine electricity starting at the base of your skull and running slowly down your back. This is not the heat of the world's stress. It is the refreshing cooling of my spirit, washing away the cortisol and the adrenaline that have kept you in a state of fight or flight. It is cleaning your system, resetting your neurons, and quieting the frantic beating of your heart. Your nervous system is being rewired for peace. As this sensation flows through you, the fog is lifting from your eyes. You can see clearly again. You can think clearly again. The sanctuary has been cleansed, and my glory is filling every corner of your mind. You are no longer bound by the shadows. You are a child of the light, and your mind is free. The fire of clarity is not a temporary flicker. It is an eternal flame that I have lit within you to guide you through the darkest nights. When the enemy tries to return with his whispers of doubt, he will find the doors of your mind bolted shut and guarded by my angels. You are waking up to a new mental landscape where hope is the atmosphere and faith is the foundation. Every thought that once pulled you down is being transformed into a ladder that leads you higher into my presence. Walk in this clarity, for your mind is now a weapon of light against the darkness of this world. The peace I give you is not as the world gives. It is a peace that stands firm even in the midst of the greatest conflict. You are whole. You are sound. You are mine. My beloved, I have seen the way you dread the setting of the sun, for while the rest of the world finds solace in the dark, for you the night has often become a season of silent raids. I have watched you toss and turn, caught in the grip of vivid nightmares that feel more real than the waking world. I have seen the terror of sleep paralysis, where you lie, frozen, unable to cry out, feeling an oppressive presence in the shadows of your room that seeks to drain your vitality before the morning breaks. Your bed, which should be a sanctuary of restoration, has become a battlefield of exhaustion. You wake up feeling as though you have been running a marathon in your spirit, your heart racing, and your mind clouded with the residue of fears that do not belong to you. These are not mere dreams. They are strategic interruptions meant to keep you from the divine downloads I release in the quiet hour. But hear me now, the night belongs to me, and your rest is about to become a fortified fortress. I stand as the watchman over your soul, the one who neither slumbers nor sleeps. Tonight I issue a celestial order that reverberates through the spiritual realm. I station legions of my most powerful angels at the four corners of your bed. I draw a line in the spirit that no darkness can cross. I command every spirit of terror, every projection of fear, and every architect of nightmares to be bound and cast out of your dwelling. Your bedroom is now consecrated ground. I'm placing a canopy of my glory over you as you lay your head down. I'm breathing a sweet celestial sedative into the atmosphere, a peace that will guard your heart and mind through the watches of the night. From this moment on, your sleep will no longer be a theater for the enemy's lies, but a classroom for my whispers and a garden for my presence. I want you to experience this shift in your physical body right now. Close your eyes for a brief moment and feel my hands pressing gently on your shoulders. Feel them dropping, releasing the tension they have held for so many nights of hypervigilance. Let the muscles in your neck and your jaw soften. Feel the tightness in your forehead smoothing out as if a cool, damp cloth has been laid across your brow. Your rest is sacred, for it is in the stillness that I renew your strength for the greatness of the day. As you surrender to this peace, notice how your breathing slows and deepens. You are safe. You are guarded. You are hidden in the hollow of my hand. The night raids are over. You will wake up with the sunrise, feeling light, clear-headed, and empowered, for I am the one who gives my beloved sleep. The darkness is no longer a threat. It is merely the curtain I draw so that you can rest in my arms. The 6th round of my divine fire is now targeting the invisible barriers that have confined your life to a level far below your true capacity. I have seen you running with all your might, pouring your sweat and tears into your career and your calling, only to hit a wall that you cannot see but can definitely feel. You have experienced the frustration of the glass ceiling where you can see the heights you are meant to reach, yet you remain trapped in a cycle of stagnation. It feels as though there is a silent agreement in the atmosphere to keep you small, to keep you waiting, and to keep you overlooked, while others with less heart and less integrity pass you by. You have wondered if you reached your limit, or if I have somehow capped your potential. Hear me now, my child. I did not create you for a plateau. I created you for the peaks. The stagnation you feel is not a lack of talent or effort. It is a spiritual blockade, and tonight I am bringing the battering ram of my glory to every wall that has dared to stand in your way. I stand before the obstacles of your life as the breaker, the one who goes before you to level the path. I issue a sovereign decree that vibrates through the structures of your destiny. I shatter the glass ceilings that have limited your vision and your reach. I break the invisible walls of stagnation that have made you feel like you were running in place for years. Every demonic delay is being incinerated, and every barrier of bureaucracy and human jealousy is being dissolved by my fire. I'm releasing a divine acceleration into your timelines. What should have taken you 10 years to achieve, I will cause to manifest in 10 months. Where you were once ignored, you will now be indispensable. Where you were once at the back of the line, I am moving you to the forefront. Your acceleration begins now, and it is not dependent on the economy, your connections, or the favor of man, but on the unstoppable momentum of my spirit. I want you to feel this transition starting in the very core of your being. As those walls crumble and the ceilings shatter, a new supernatural energy is being released into your bloodstream. It feels like a quickening, a surge of vitality and urgency that you haven't felt in a long time. The lethargy of stagnation is being flushed out of your system, replaced by a rhythmic pulse of divine purpose. You may feel a slight tingling in your hands and feet, as if they are being prepared for a long-distance run. Your heart is beating with a new confidence, a warrior's rhythm that knows victory is inevitable. This is the energy of your breakthrough, the fuel for the next phase of your journey. You are no longer standing still. You are being propelled forward into the expansion I have prepared for you. The limits are gone. The path is clear, and the speed of heaven is now your new normal. Walk through the rubble of your former limitations, for the wide open space of your destiny is calling your name. The seventh and final round of my divine fire is now converging upon the very center of your being, the sacred place where your identity resides. For too long, you have lived behind a mask of just getting by, allowing the world to define you by your mistakes, your scars, and your perceived inadequacies. I have seen the way you shrink when you should stand tall, the way you apologize for your existence, and the deep-seated feeling of being an imposter in your own life. You have been told that you are too much or not enough, and you have swallowed those lies until they became a part of your own internal dialogue. But I am the one who formed you in the secret place, and I know the regal substance I have woven into your spirit. The enemy has tried to erase your face and drown out your name with the noise of unworthiness, but tonight I am performing a divine restoration of your true image. The final chain that is holding you back is not an external wall. It is the internal lie that you are anything less than my masterpiece. Hear my voice as I call your true name from the heights of eternity. I call forth the king and the queen within you to arise and take their place. I declare that the spirit of the orphan is being cast out, and the spirit of the heir is being seated upon the throne of your heart. You are no longer a servant to your fears or a slave to your past. You are the head and not the tail, the lender, and not the borrower, the victor, and never again the victim. I am stripping away the rags of shame and the garments of mourning that you have worn for so long. I am placing a crown of beauty instead of ashes upon your head, and a robe of righteousness around your shoulders. You are not created to grovel for crumbs at the table of life. You are created to sit with me in heavenly places. The final snap is occurring right now, the total severance of your soul from the identity of the wounded one. You are being rebranded by the fire of the Holy Spirit as the Anointed One. Pay attention to your physical form at this very second, for my spirit is straightening what the world has tried to bend. Feel a surge of power flowing upward through the base of your feet, traveling through your legs and settling in your lower back. Your spine is automatically standing straight, lengthening and aligning as if an invisible thread is pulling you toward the heavens. The slouch of defeat is leaving your shoulders. The downward cast of your gaze is being lifted. You're assuming the posture of a conqueror. Your chin is rising and your chest is expanding with a quiet, unshakable confidence that does not come from your own strength, but from the realization of whose you are. This is not pride. It is the dignity of the kingdom. You are standing in the authority of the Lion of Judah, and the ground beneath you recognizes your command. Your posture has become a weapon. Your presence now fills the room because you finally know that I am with you. This is the moment of the total shift. Every previous round has led to this, the reclamation of your core. The final link of the old you is snapping under the pressure of my love. I want you to visualize that old, weary, doubtful version of yourself fading away like a shadow in the noonday sun. In its place stands a warrior of peace, a vessel of light, and a child of the Most High God. You are ready. You are whole. The training in the wilderness has come to an end, and the season of your manifestation has begun. The world will no longer ask, "Who is this person?" but will wonder, whose power is working through them. You have passed the final test of identity. You have seen through the veil of the enemy's deception and embraced the truth of my word. Go forth now, not as one seeking victory, but as one who is already walking in it. The snap is complete, the fire has settled, and you have emerged as the gold I always knew you were. Now breathe. Let the intense heat of the battle subside and the cool mist of my presence settle upon your skin like a refreshing dew. The sound of clashing chains and the roar of the spiritual wind has faded, replaced now by the gentle, steady rhythm of a heart that finally knows it is safe. I'm dropping a piece into your life that is not merely an absence of noise, but a presence of tangible power. It is an atmosphere that follows you into every room, a quiet authority that silences the storm before you even open your mouth. You have spent so much energy bracing yourself for the next blow, living in a state of hypervigilance, but I am here to tell you that the strike has been averted. The climate of your life is no longer survival, it is restoration. You are not just recovering from a war, you are being crowned in the aftermath of a total victory. Feel this peace soaking into your weary muscles, untying the last of the invisible knots. This is the stillness of a victory, already won a rest that is your divine right as my child. I want you to understand the divine law of reversal that is now in effect over every square inch of your life. Every weapon that was forged against you, every betrayal that broke your heart into 1,000 pieces, and every delay that tried to steal your precious time, I'm now converting them all into fuel for your magnificent future. The very fire that tried to consume you is the fire I am using to make you fireproof. Those who whispered behind your back and spoke against your name are now becoming the footstool for your divine advancement. The tears you shed in secret, the ones you thought were forgotten, have become the water for the seeds of your destiny that are even now beginning to sprout. Nothing you went through was wasted. I am taking the ashes of your past and weaving them into a tapestry of undeniable glory. What was intended by the enemy to be your end is now becoming your glorious new beginning. The pit that was dug for your demise has become the solid foundation for your palace. Watch closely as I turn the tide in your favor, making the wind that once blew so violently against you the very force that carries you to your destination. You are emerging from this sacred encounter with a new name and a new nature. You are no longer the victim of your circumstances or the wounded one of your family line. I have upgraded your identity to that of a warrior of peace. This does not mean you will never face another challenge. It means you will face every challenge from a position of seated authority, knowing the outcome is already secured in my hand. You are the one who brings divine order to chaos and heavenly light to the dark places of this world. Your presence alone will begin to shift the environments you walk into, for you carry the fragrance of the throne room. Because you have been through the fire, and did not emerge smelling like smoke, you carry a weight of glory that the world cannot ignore. You are a sentinel of the kingdom, a bearer of my peace who moves with the precision of a conqueror and the heart of a father. Your scars are no longer marks of shame to be hidden. They are your credentials of triumph, proof that you have overcome. You are whole, you are empowered, and you are ready to walk into the high places I have reserved for you. Everything you have lost in the seasons of drought is being returned to you with a heavenly interest. I'm restoring the joy that was stolen by grief, the confidence that was eroded by criticism, and the vision that was blurred by the tears of exhaustion. This is the hour of the great reversal, where the last shall be first, and the forgotten shall be celebrated. You have been faithful in the small things in the hidden years where no one saw your sacrifice, and now I am rewarding you openly. The pressure that nearly broke you has produced a diamond of character that will shine for generations. Walk out of this moment with your head held high, for you are draped in the favor of the Most High. The reversal is not coming, it is here. The peace is not a temporary feeling, it is your permanent home. You are my warrior of peace, and the world is about to see my glory reflected in every step you take. Now that the battle has been won in the heavens, you must cooperate with me to anchor this victory in the physical realm. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and after such a profound spiritual shift, it requires your gentle care. The first wisdom step I give you tonight is to rest your physical frame. Drink pure water as a symbol of the living water I've poured into your soul, and go to your bed with a heart of surrender. This is not just sleep. It is a sacred act of faith showing me that you trust I'm working on your behalf while you rest in my arms. The second step is the wisdom of the boundary. For too long, you have been a reservoir for everyone else's problems, but from this moment, you must learn the divine power of the word no. Do not allow the toxic energies or the demanding voices of those who do not respect your peace to enter the sanctuary of this new season. Protecting your frequency is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of stewardship over the miracle I have just performed within you. The third step is the practice of radical gratitude. Before this day ends, I want you to name and record 3 specific weights that have been lifted from your spirit during this message. By acknowledging these releases, you are writing the testimony of your freedom into the books of heaven, making it a permanent part of your story. Gratitude is the glue that keeps your breakthrough attached to your reality. Fourthly, you must guard your input with a holy jealousy. Be selective about the information, the media, and the conversations you allow into your mind. Do not go back to the old noise of gossip, fear-mongering, or shallow distractions that once kept you in a mental fog. You are now tuned to a higher frequency, the frequency of my voice, and you must protect that signal at all costs. What you feed will grow, and what you starve will die. Starve the old fears and feed the new hope I have planted within you. Now I place my final seal upon your life. I speak a blessing over your coming and your going, over your bread and your water, and over every seed you plant in faith. May my favor be a shield around you that deflects every arrow of the enemy. May my wisdom be the lamp that guides you through every valley and the fire that warms you in every winter. You are no longer the same person who began this video. The old has passed away. Behold, I have made all things new in you. I am the God who keeps his promises, and I will be with you until the very end of the age. I am watching over my word to perform it in your life, and no power in heaven or on earth can stop what I have set in motion. Perform the final act of faith to lock this prophecy into your life forever. Type this final seal in the comments. Right now, it is done. My future is guarded. Let the digital world and the spiritual realm hear the conviction in your heart and subscribe to this family of believers once more. What I have started here tonight, I am committed to finishing in you. Press that button and the like button as a final pledge to continue walking in this light. The gates have been opened, the chains have snapped, and your destiny is calling. Go forth in my power, for you are loved with an everlasting love. Do not let the silence that follows this moment entice you back into the old ways of thinking. You have walked through the fire and emerged as a new creation, and the frequency of your soul has been tuned to the heavens. The victory you have claimed tonight is not a fleeting emotion. It is a permanent shift in your spiritual DNA. But remember, the path of the chosen one is one of continuous ascent. To maintain this momentum and to ensure that the enemy finds no foothold to return, you must stay immersed in the atmosphere of my word. Do not return to the static of the world or the frequency of your former fears. I have already prepared the next step for you. There is another revelation, another layer of strength that I want to pour into your spirit to solidify the walls of your new reality. This is not the end of our conversation. It is merely the completion of this specific cycle. Move now to the next session, for there is a specific instruction there that will help you navigate the breakthroughs that are coming your way this very week. Do not delay your progress. Stay in this holy rhythm. I am moving with you, and the next level of your authority is just one step away. Move to the next video now and let my glory be your constant companion.